Sometimes it's good to just dance.
Welcome to the Good Stuff Family Podcast. I'm Dawn Kendrick, and I am so glad you're here. These are stories from the perspective of a news reporter on a next-level assignment. Everyone has a story. Stories of hope, resilience, and how we believe God weaves people, relationships, opportunities, all of it for good. For many of us, faith leads our steps, others not so much. But that is what makes this growing Good Stuff family great. We know the journey is better together. Welcome to the family.
Well, I got a suggestion. Sometimes it's good to just dance. Come along.
Good morning. It's Friday, which means we are all gathered around the virtual gratitude table for the best part of waking up is waking up. Apologies right out of the gate for a bit of congestion this morning. I don't know if it's a little bit of a seasonal cold, the weather's changing here, or allergies, but apologies for that. I feel fine. And joining us, as always, Pastor Charles Eduardo's. Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
And Rich Smith, how are you?
Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Pastor Charles. Good morning, Good Stuff family. I'm sorry for not being on camera today. I could not get my hair to sit down.
I had the same problem.
Yeah.
Well, and people who don't know, you guys are two very confident, handsome, bald men, and you own it, and I love it. I, on the other hand, no one wants to see this right now. It's congested, maybe a little under the weather, but nonetheless, like I said, I feel this changing in St. Louis. It's a crisp fall morning. The windows are open. There's fresh air in our lungs and coffee in our cups, and it's just gratitude. Yeah, you picking up what I'm laying down, you guys?
I'm picking it up, and I gotta say, for Rich and I, Dawn, whatever situation, you are so beautiful to us.
That's a record, isn't it, Rich? What are we, 1 minute in and he's singing?
Yeah, I love it.
Well, the mirror would tell a different story, but I mean, let's talk about that for a bit, because I just had this conversation with someone yesterday that none of us, the one thing that we all are guaranteed is to get not younger each day. None of us are getting any younger, and to be confident that the beauty truly, not just in words, but to see the beauty from within. When you know people, if you're listening right now, who comes to mind, who you before you ever even knew what they looked like, you already knew their hearts and their souls.
Yeah.
This is where we want to be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the things that we can't change, like aging and when cold set in and stuff, but to be that kind of person that, as Pastor Charles, as you say, radiates the good stuff, the God stuff, regardless of the packaging. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And it's whatever our physical is, we have to remember it's God designed, and God has a purpose in everything. So it's just to celebrate. I tease around sometimes, tell people I got a face made for radio, but however tall we are, however wide we are, however whatever we are, black we are, however white, whatever, it's all designed by God. And our mission is to understand what that design is and to fulfill our God-given purpose. That's what it comes down to.
I had a friend who said, I'm in shape. Round is a shape.
There it is.
I've said those two things my whole life. I've said the face for radio and the round shape thing. I've said them both in my life. That's hysterical.
Well, and Pastor Charles, you call them earth suits that we have. Earth suits. They're not meant to be in style or in the same style forever. And I think that's a good segue, Rich. I'm going to take the lead on your pictures. But speaking of earth suits and things we wear, what is going on when we talk about gratitude this week? What is this all about?
Oh, so I mean, I'm just so grateful. We had a great start to our semester at CSU, and one of which I am very fortunate to be an advisor for the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity at Cleveland State. and they had their back to school gathering where they had a lot of alumni come in and wish them well on their way, and just a good group of guys. I'm actually going to be talking with them this evening on resume building, and so I won one of the raffle baskets, and inside was this Viking helmet, and they bestowed it upon me. I actually have a picture of them placing it on my head. It was just a good time. We went and played some bocce ball and had just a great time together. So it was a fun way to kick off the semester. And I was just struck. I was walking back from the Guardians game and saw the skyline with Rhodes Tower in it, with Playhouse Square. I'm like, this is Cleveland, like just the hustle, the bustle, but yet the peace and calm on a Sunday afternoon of downtown Cleveland. I just loved it. And this was me earning my wings. We just got this Don Tequila that opened near us, and I had some of the best tacos I've ever had, and thought these were just heavenly. So I saw the angel wings, and I was inspired.
So great. Yeah, I said let's just reflect quickly like we used to do. We kind of got away from it, just on the things that lit up our hearts this week. What about you, Pastor Charles? That's hard to top. Look at he really looks angelic, doesn't he?
I know. And you blend that with the Viking helmet. This is Saint Ragnar here.
There you go.
Wow. Well, you know, this is as I was sharing with you guys before, we lost one of our just amazing members. She lived a full life, but it's bittersweet in that I reflect on how blessed I feel to have been called to pastor All Saints and to come to know not just Carol, but all of the wonderful people here. And yes, we are a teeny congregation, but I really believe that God is bringing us into a new phase, another phase, and where we're going to be that city set upon a hill that cannot be hid, just letting the light of Christ shine forth, because it's not about being a huge church or anything. Again, it just comes down to, are we fulfilling God's purpose in our life? He put us here. Each one of us has purpose, and just to live and fulfill that purpose. And then just a couple of the lives that I was able to touch this week, I always stand in awe. And after these encounters, all I can do is go into prayers of thanksgiving for the opportunity to serve my Abba. My Abba is the King of the universe, my Father. Jesus told us to pray, our Father. Jesus told us, not just my Father, but he's your Father too. So it's our Father. And to deepen that intimacy that is there for every one of us in the kingdom of God. It's just, I don't know. Life is a song worth singing, and I ain't going to stop singing.
Well, and when you talked about the funeral of this woman who was in her 90s and she had passed, but what do we do if we get 9 years or we get 90 years? What do we do with those days? And it's a good segue into what I want to talk about for Cancer Awareness Month in September. Yesterday marked 8 years since Addi Keegan, what a beautiful soul, since she passed. But it was July 8 years ago. She was 9 when she passed, and she spent 7 of those 9 years battling a brain tumor. And we met her in July when we talk about out of the worst unthinkable kind of not good stuff for parents comes incredible good stuff that rises up in so many layers. And she loved Luke Bryan, you guys. Oh my gosh, he's a country singer. I happen to love him too. Big fan. Great sing-along songs, you know.
Yes.
And so A Special Wish Cleveland, which is this fantastic jewel in the crown of Cleveland, a group that makes dreams come true for kids who are like Addi, who are warrioring through stuff like that, cancer and more. they set it up so that she could meet him when he came to a concert in Cleveland. And she did a little video for her ahead of time. And you should have seen, I was about to say, you should have seen how she lit up. And I'm about to have a tear right now because one of the songs that she loves has that phrase in there. You should have seen her light up when I brought out my guitar. Like, that's the lyric. Addi lit up when Luke Bryan, he didn't have to do this. Super kind, the kindness that rises up, the way we can see the good in others, be the good for them, even in the midst, especially in the midst of the stuff that we certainly wouldn't have and couldn't have scripted. So go ahead and do you want to before I keep talking, anything you want to say? I'm going to run the story so people can get an idea. The story we did 8 years ago on her, but you have anything you guys want to say quickly before we roll it?
No, go just roll it.
Okay.
I don't.
All right, Rich. I'm going to remove this, and here we go. Let's add this, and here we go. Is there audio on there, you guys?
No, not hearing it.
Oh man, why would there not be any audio? I don't have any clue. I pulled it over. All right. Rich, you have any suggestions?
Oh, you lose Rich.
Yeah. Oh, maybe do I just need to turn it up on this end? Let's see. Huh. I have it.
I'm pulling the backup.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to stop this one then. Remove. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate you. I don't know what I can hear it on this end. But yeah, she, like I say, she got 9 years. But what her family showed us is faith and resilience, and people who showed up for her and the family in the wake of it. That's the good stuff. That's it. And we all have the ability to do it, to reach out to people who need, ourselves included, maybe,
Spectrum is hiring construction technicians to help bring high-speed internet access to
Spectrum doesn't get any ad time with us.
rural communities. Whether you're laying fiber under...
One moment, please.
Wait a minute, I need a job.
But could you hear that though? Like that was
it is. The audio is really good.
Yeah, that's progress. Hold on 1 second. The ad's almost done. Not sponsored by Spectrum, but if they'd like to, please reach out to the Good Stuff family.
Well, we could send them a bill for.
There you go.
Yeah.
What a switch. Here we go.
Specializes in making the wishes of sick children come true. And tonight, a 9-year-old who is a huge fan of country singer Luke Bryan was the guest of honor at a private concert in her own backyard. Our Don Kendrick here now with a story you will only see on Channel 3. Hi, Don.
Hi, Sarah. So often the best good stuff comes from good people who rise up for others in the face of unthinkable hardship. Well, the Keegan family was on the receiving end of big love that showed up tonight, right there in their own backyard. 9-year-old Addi Keegan of Amherst, fighting an aggressive brain tumor since she was 2. She is an adorable warrior on hospice now who happens to be a huge Luke Bryan fan. How much do you love Luke Bryan?
9,999 hearts and stars.
9,999 hearts and stars. Can you even comprehend that magnitude?
I couldn't comprehend that magnitude. She is obviously so in love with him.
Jason and Eileen from A Special Wish Cleveland knew Addi couldn't get to the Luke Bryan concert July 15th.
And that's when we figured we'll bring the Luke Bryan right to her. So that's why we have Country Redford out in her backyard tonight to sing some of her favorite Luke Bryan jams.
Right out of the gate with Addi's favorite song.
She said, play it again, play it again, play it again. Come here, boy, I want to dance. Before I said a word, she was taking my hand.
Gratitude for right here.
Shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me.
Right now. In this moment.
Got your hands up, you're rocking in my chest.
When Addi tapped her toe to the rhythm of her soul, to the music that moves her.
I mean, she calls it her magic, and I really think that that's what it is to her. It's gotten her through a lot.
As soon as I sat down, I was falling in love, trying to pour a little sugar in a Dixie cup.
Lead singer Scott Redford had back surgery just a week ago.
They said, but don't you worry, because he will sit out there and play on a stool if he has to.
I have a 9-year-old boy at home, yeah. Sorry, I do it for him. I do it for anyone. I do it for anyone. It hits home. Sorry, it hits home.
And she gave me a good night kiss.
Every day a gift for Addi and her family now, as it really should be for all of us, really. Tonight, I saw the best of humanity rise up when a deserving little girl's soul was uplifted on a night none of them will forget. So straight to the good stuff file for sure with this one for Special Wish Cleveland and for the guys of that band. I mean, my heart just was, I felt like it was going to just jump out of my chest. The good stuff.
Incredible stuff. And Special Wish Cleveland does so much of it. But to see Addi tonight, that's really
Just
neat.
the latest installment, and they have more in the works.
Thanks, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Special Wish Cleveland does that all the time
Yes, they
for,
do.
and they show up in such ways for these families, right? So even the legacy that lives on, this is what we hope to accomplish in our time together this morning. Anyone listening, what is it with the breath in our lungs today that we could do if today is a gift and tomorrow not guaranteed, to see the good in others and be the good for them? That's it. To show up in gratitude for the opportunities that lie ahead in this day full of promise. I say, yeah.
Absolutely. And I wonder sometimes, the question I think we could ask ourselves is, why is it that it takes some of these tragic things in people's lives to bring us together? Why is it so hard for us to just come together and look beyond our differences and get down to the myriad of similarities we all have? We all hurt. We all love and care for our children. We all want to live happy lives and everything. And yes, we may disagree on how to go about doing all of that, but just, I don't know. And maybe it's the times that we're in. There is so much strife, so much contention, so much just angst in the world. And it's like we need to, as the Eagle sang, get over it, and just come together in love and encouragement.
Amen. And here's the thing, Rich, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a big elaborate thing. It's seriously, I'm seeing so much more and more seriously, like a smile in passing. It seems so cliche. It's almost impossible for someone to, if you smile at them, to not smile back. How are we going to make a difference? It literally could be that simple. It really can.
Yep.
It's all about living in those moments, and we as human beings tend to think so big and so broad and so far ahead of ourselves that we forget to live in the now and appreciate each one of those moments that we are encountering.
Yes.
Yeah, today we just really celebrate all of these families who are warrioring through. Again, we said September is Childhood Cancer Awareness. And, for Addi's family, it's every second of every day awareness of what it can take, but also the awareness of what came up out of it, And I mean, again, if we get 9 years, Addi was 9. Or we get 90, your friend who went to be with the Lord in her 90s. What do we do with it? And the good news is there's so much potential that we can do. Yeah, it's true.
Absolutely.
Look at her.
I'm reminded of, as I was sharing with you guys ahead of just before we went live. My dear little Shondell Tinsley, 12 years old, and very aggressive neuroblastoma cancer he had. And it was so amazing. I went to see him in hospice this one day, and when I walked in, he was obviously in a lot of pain. But when I walked in, he looked up and he smiled and said, "Hey, Pastor Charles, how you doing?" Just so positive in the midst of all of what he was going through. And his dream was to be a police officer and a chaplain, like his pastor, because at the time I was with Euclid Police Department and also pastoring a church in Euclid. And so Mayor Lynch, bless his heart, and my chief, Wayne Baumgart, who I still stay in touch with, they came over to hospice and they swore him in as my assistant chaplain. The great people over at Shuttler's Uniform provided a uniform for Shondell. And when he passed, he had a police funeral, and I was so honored. Some of the other officers from Euclid came to the funeral, officers that didn't even know him. And it's just little things like that. We can come together in those times to support families and whatnot. Just be nice to see that become a lifestyle where we're doing that all the time. And we don't get our, excuse the expression, we don't get our pantyhose in a knot over things that just really don't matter. Because tomorrow's not promised. And you guys know my story. Shoot, every day since 1971, every day that I've had since then has been a gift of God. And I just can't find it in my mind or heart to take even a breath for granted.
That's the silence of it'll preach, right?
Mm.
I mean, again, going back to that, living those moments and appreciating what we have with each other is just so important.
Yes.
And how many people listening or will be listening to this are relating? And maybe they've warriored through with a kid who's had to I'm thinking of Santa's Hideaway Hollow too. Another story we did. All these kids that come through there and their families that, in some cases, they find faith there. Santa's Hideaway Hollow is in Cleveland, a suburb. Well, it's not really a suburb. It's Middlefield. But what happens there is so spiritual. I don't even know how else to say it. Because the Santa had a chapel erected there, so that these parents, sometimes they renew their faith when they're there, or they find faith in the midst of really what is the darkest days.
Yeah.
And again, it's showing up for each other.
Yes.
They exist like Special Wish Cleveland, to be the good for these families who so deserve it. Yeah. Not just September Cancer Awareness Month, but 24/7. So huge shout out to them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So special.
I don't know if you're listening, if you guys want to comment, give any shout outs to maybe people you know who are warrioring on. I see Jackie Bernalette is watching. Like, she knows tons of families who go through things that, again, they wouldn't have scripted and couldn't have scripted. But then they highlight that, much like you, Rich, working with ITC, the awe, the AWE in autism, and Jackie celebrates the ability in people who have been, how well did you love Shine Down? Jackie wrote, yes. There. Okay, what a great question to go out on as I'm looking at the time so we can wrap this up. How well did you love? Let's let that be the question on our hearts going into the weekend for everyone
Yes.
listening. How well did we love?
That's good.
It's really good.
God is love.
Yeah.
And when we love, we are truly in God. And we're allowing God to shine forth through us, his children.
Yeah. It's a choice too. That's the thing. Whatever,
Absolutely.
all the things we can't control. I'm going to say it for the 5,000th time in this podcast, but that we wouldn't have scripted and couldn't have scripted life circumstances. What we have control over is how well we love. How empowering is that?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And we were talking before the show, where you go is God. And so if we take that message with us, that everything we encounter, everything we do is infused with God's love, then I think we're ahead of the game.
Yeah. And it's not memorizing Bible verses.
Exactly.
Quote isn't it St. Francis? Was it St. Francis? No. Yeah. St. Francis who said, go out and proclaim the gospel, Rich.
Use words when necessary.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that they know we are Christians by our love. Again, the word, right? Not by our words and our however well we can memorize the Bible, but what it looks like in real life.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yes, indeed. And like folks know not to come to Pastor Charles with the expression, I didn't have a choice. What happens to you is not the issue. It's how you choose to respond to it. And there's always a choice. Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah.
Respond in love. Forgive, love. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, forgive is sometimes harder said than done, or easier said than done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, whoo, look at the time. We're running out of time. But if you're listening, present company included, sometimes it's forgiving yourself even. Don't you find it, right? Yes. And often the very thing that we can't forgive other people, it's an opportunity to look in and be like, wait, hold up. How can I do better in that very same thing that I'm holding a grudge against someone else? It's sometimes it's turning the kind of the perspective and internally to because the one thing we have control over is how we choose again to be better. That's it. We're perfectly imperfect. That's it. We just are. We are. But we know that it's not just cliche that we say together we can, together we will. We know that God weaves and we've seen him work. We know all of this to be true. This is our inspiration. This is our motivation. And as we wrap this up, again, Pastor Charles and Rich, thank you for joining us this morning. Everyone who's listening, thank you for spending this time with us. Share it if you're inspired. And here's what we do every Friday when we head out from this time together. It's not hard to do, you guys. It's not hard to do. Let's all pledge, could we, to see the good in others and be the good for them. On your mark, get set.
Let's go.
Sometimes it's good to just dance.
You've been listening to Don Kendrick's The Good Stuff Family Podcast. If you found inspiration here, would you click subscribe, follow, share as we grow our Good Stuff family tree? Check out thegoodstufffamily.com for links to all our social media platforms and for how you or your business could sponsor a story. The Good Stuff Family, reaching and touching hearts around the world by weaving families together one story at a time. On your mark, get set, let's go.
Well, I got a suggestion. Sometimes it's good to just dance. Come along